What's your honest opinion about the UFC and Dana White? Whoa, who came up with this question? It's first time when I see those questions, and it's interesting. Don't forget that I come from Romania, which it's pretty low level. So UFC is the highest level in the world. So when I was younger, I didn't even dream. I didn't even dare to dream to go to the UFC. Like, I watched UFC on TV and it was like, wow, that's cool, that's amazing. I couldn't even think that I would ever be there. So for me it's a lot. It's the highest level in the world, and it's unbelievable that I'm there. I didn't meet Dana White too many times. Like, yeah, I meet him when I'm going there to fight, and I meet him like after the weigh-in. We are all there, see Dana, seeing people. But I never actually had a conversation with him personally, just me and him. So, I don't know, I love UFC and I love to be there. More than that, I don't know what should I say. What's the craziest fan encounter you have had? I don't know who picked those hard words for me to pronounce, but, well, I had a lot of experience with fans, but I'm happy that I didn't have to interact with those crazy ones. Like, yeah, I had to interact sometimes on social media, especially that I have a big social media and I have my email there. And even if I don't see all my messages on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, I always see most of the emails. And I think the weirdest is, I don't know, some 54 or 64, I think it was 50 something, 57 years old guy was texting me and telling me for a collaboration, which he was meaning that he's gonna pay me to beat him up or something. I feel like that's one of the weirdest things. Like, how can you want to pay somebody to beat you up? Or, I don't know, I think that was the craziest. But more than that, I always have weird messages. But I have all the filters possible on social media that, for example, if I don't follow somebody, I cannot see their pictures. They send me pictures in private messages, so thank God I don't see crazy stuff. What advice would you give a 20-year-old self? 20 years old? That was not long ago, that was just a few years ago. So I will exaggerate a little bit, and I will say, what if I would talk with me being a kid? And probably I would just tell myself to dare to dream big, because I never dared to dream that I will ever fight in UFC, that I will ever fight at the highest level. And when I actually got to the UFC, I was super surprised. So I think that's the advice I will give it to myself as a kid, to believe in myself and to dream big, because I cannot share that. What's a childhood dream you still think about? Coming from a country that doesn't really give you much, I don't think I had many dreams. The only dream I think was to not be poor. And yes, I still think about it and I'm still working on that. What's the biggest life lesson fighting has taught you outside the ring? Well, that's a really good question, because I fight since I was a kid. Like, I started fighting at 12 years old, so I don't really know how my life will be if I will not be a fighter. Like, I was always in the gym. And I think one of the biggest things that fighting taught me is that nothing comes easy, and if I really want something, I really have to work for it. You know, in fighting, especially in sport in general, there are not shortcuts. So you have to go the long way, you have to train hard if you want to achieve something. And I feel like it's the same thing in life. No matter if you are a doctor or, I don't know, have other jobs, you still have to work a lot for that. What is your walkout song and why did you choose it? I don't always have the same walkout song, but for my last fight I picked Watch Me Shine from Bianca Belair, just for the simple reason that I love Bianca Belair. And I'm happy that after that fight she had a reaction, because I guess many people sent her the video with me walking out on her song, and she was happy about that. So maybe in the future, I don't know, maybe I'll go to WWE just to team up with Bianca Belair. Who inspires you the most in your life or career? I feel like I saw this question so many times and I never actually had an answer. If at the beginning I used to think that Ronda Rousey is my idol, and she somehow opened the door for the love that I have for MMA. Right now, probably, I don't know, probably my coaches inspire me a lot because they help me a lot, and also some of my teammates, also my mom. So I don't think I have just a person or a few people that I get inspired by. I feel like I look around me and I try to take what's best from around me, from people around me, and that's all. More than that, I just try to create my own path.